leading the nation in school communications, award-winning D93 News starts now.
Hello and welcome to D93 News, presented by Farm Bureau Bonneville County. The Hillcrest Knights made history Saturday night in the Ford Idaho Center as they brought home their second state championship in a row, Sam.
Back to back, the arena was packed with fans who made the trek over from eastern Idaho to watch the game in western Idaho. But what if we hosted the tournament here? Coach Austin says the Mountain America Center is working on a campaign to do just that.
The fact that this area here, this facility wants to host some Idaho stuff, trying to get the IHSAA to buy into it. And so they were looking for someone to come in and test things out so they could get some videos and pictures and send to them and say, hey, it's doable.
Now, Eastern Idaho hasn't hosted the state basketball tournament since the 1990s. Now, if you're wondering what kind of home court advantage this is for the Boise area teams, none of the Region 3 teams won a state championship this year in any classifications at state.
No, it really wasn't close. And this next story is really cool. It combines social studies, economics, and a whole lot of strategy with a healthy dose of fun. Thunder Ridge recently hosted a fun learning activity that required knowledge of the world with a little bit of strategy.
We are doing an international trade summit. The kids have been studying in macroeconomics. They've been studying different countries. Each one of them adopted a country, and now they're trading their wares, their goods, whatever, and coming up to achieve the goals that they have set.
The students picked their countries, and they all had their own unique reasons for their choices. What's your country?
Argentina.
Argentina. Oh, there you go.
I'm loaded. I'm winning.
Did you pick that country, or?
Well, yeah, they won the World Cup. I had to.
That's why. Good logic.
No, he's Cambodia.
Cambodia? How did you end up with Cambodia?
I wasn't here when we picked.
Oh, there you go.
Well, we're doing all right.
Each of the 26 students used their countries to compete against each other. Throughout the trimester, these students researched their country, compiling statistics, analyzing current events to determine what it is their country needs.
You have to be a little shrewd in order to make sure that you get what you want.
Besides the 13 categories for trading, they also had the opportunity to purchase internal improvements for their countries, which includes infrastructure, healthcare, and education. They also had different currencies that they needed to convert. This was the largest group ever to participate in this event in Miss Webster's class.
We have an exciting update to share in the quest to adopt a state dinosaur that's being spearheaded by a 4th grade class at Ucon Elementary. KTVB's Brian Holmes has more from Boise.
So we call Get to Know Idaho, and if you're in the 4th grade or you've spent some time in the 4th grade, you know that's when you learn about Idaho. The geography, the history, the cultures, the state symbols. It's one of the best parts of Mr. Walton's 4th grade class at Ucon Elementary in eastern Idaho. But last year, it got a little more exciting. That's when he and a student named Calvin, a 10-year-old who's totally into dinosaurs, came to the conclusion Idaho deserves its own designated dinosaur. So they put together a professional packet of pleas, drawings, and essays asking for the latest in a line of gem state symbols to be a dinosaur. Well, it didn't get any footing last legislative session, but this year, look out. A creature from the Cretaceous period could be part of 4th grade studies for future Idaho students.
Good morning and welcome.
Maybe you missed it during Monday's Senate State Affairs Committee hearing.
I am testifying in opposition to Bill 1056.
Mixed in the middle of militias.
Next, RS 30461, I think.
And filings on foster care.
Our current statute requires
Senator Kevin Cook.
And I'm here to introduce a bill.
Slipped in one of this session's most important bills.
It represents some of our most valued individuals in the state of Idaho, and that is a bunch of 4th graders.
4th graders who lobbied legislators and wrote letters.
In their very, very best handwriting and their very best English, they stated why the state of Idaho needed a state dinosaur.
That dinosaur?
Eryctodromeus.
Eryctodromeus.
Eryctodromeus, yeah.
Okay. Was nominated by Mr. Walton's 4th grade class.
I think mostly just because it sounded fun.
At Ucon Elementary.
I think we just first started saying, hey, dinosaurs are awesome. Only 24 states have even found dinosaurs. Why couldn't we suggest a dinosaur for a state symbol? And we just thought, well, if we're going to suggest a dinosaur as a state symbol, we ought to find out which one the paleontologists in the state know about. Have we found dinosaurs here?
A good question to ask of someone who's dug dinosaurs since he was a kid.
Yeah, I've never grown out of it, so.
Dr. L.J. Krummenacher is a paleontologist at Idaho State University and grew up in Blackfoot.
When I started as a kid, they said Idaho didn't have dinosaurs. And I was like, well, maybe if I look really hard, we can find some.
And you did.
Yeah, it's kind of made me happy.
Dr. Krummenacher was one of the first to find the Oryctodromeus in the Gem State about 20 years ago, a 95-million-year-old burrowing herbivore.
Yeah, about the size of a dog, 11 feet long.
Whose name translates to digging runner.
7 feet of that would have been tail. So he's just a little long-tailed, dog-sized dinosaur.
There have been about 15 full skeletons found in Idaho, a rare find for any fossil.
So my best hypothesis, this is part of what I did for my PhD, is that these animals are basically digging their own graves. Since they're burrowing, it's easier to preserve a fossil if it buries itself, basically is the way I look at it.
And they were sometimes found in groups with either their offspring or other adults.
Which in and of itself is pretty rare evidence for a dinosaur. Something else to make this special.
So you can see why.
It's Idaho's dinosaur. We only find them here.
Mr. Walton's fourth graders feel the Oryctodromeus should be our next state symbol.
I think it would be absolutely fascinating if students here at Ucon Elementary School into the future could say, we were part of that, we helped that happen, and just celebrate this new state symbol. I know, it would just be absolutely thrilling.
Well, after the motion was seconded by the self-proclaimed oldest dinosaur on the committee, he said it himself, that would be Senator Chuck Winder. Senate Bill 1127 was printed and awaits a full hearing in the Senate State Affairs Committee. Dr. Krummenacher, says it's about time Idaho has a state dinosaur. Only 14 others do, and it's a great way to get kids excited about science. And as Mr. Walton found out, it's also a great way to teach kids about civics, both of which Senator Cook said is a great example of what our public schools are doing for our kids.
That's awesome stuff right there. The Culture and Dance Club at Bonneville and Bailemeos at Thunder Ridge present Jaripeo.
I think that's what it is. It's happening March 11th, which is Saturday. They're going to have a DJ that can do songs in English and Spanish. There's going to be food trucks. The fun starts at 8:30 Saturday over at Bonneville, and students from throughout the district are encouraged to attend. High school students, that is. So. Fun stuff right there.
Yeah, muy bueno.
Muy bueno. Big board meeting tonight. Of course, we'll be streaming that live, but the district has, unless you've been living in a cave somewhere, that cave guy from Lemhi County, but we're growing like crazy, and the district has a proposal. They're gonna vote on that. The board will as to a resolution to help facilitate that while trying to keep our taxes as low as possible. So watch for that. We'll be streaming it live starting at 7 o'clock, but that's gonna do it for us.
See you next time on D93 News.